Mm, mm. Greeting, beloveds. Beloveds, when you have given yourself these 40 days to it is much like the 4 minutes that we asked you to give us for each hour. When you have given yourself this allotment to review what you have known to be your judgments, what you have known to be places of unforgiveness, what you have known to be your fears, you have created a container for you to be able to bring to the surface through what is being referred to as the series of minds, the conscious mind, the unconscious, the subconscious, the supermind, the superconscious mind, which allows you access to the thresholds of imagination, the theta states, the body mind, where you have stored memories. Understand, beloveds, that when you become in concert with the physical body through diet and exercise, as a way of honoring the body, you have allowed yourself to connect to the vessel that you have manufactured and that you have chosen. Look to see where it is that you have judgment within your own body, where you have judgment within your own very practical relationships, those closest to you, spouses, mates, partners, parents, grandparents, children, work associates, workmates, bosses, employees. In these immediate relationships, beloveds, even those that have left you, ones that you have either sent away or ones who have asked you to leave, you have the immediate answers to what it is that you judge. And this judgment is what separates you. For beloveds, when there is no longer judgment, when there is only love, you are fully immersed in the quality of existence that is known as God. When you allow yourself to judge, when you allow yourself to criticize, when you allow yourself to condemn yourself and others, these are the ingredients that make up the world of separation. So when you head directly into the storm, you are given a guide of the Holy Spirit. It will be much like in the scene of The Wizard of Oz, where there is the tornado, and as the tornado spins, all of the things that Dorothy had not wanted to deal with are represented when she lands in the land of Oz. Understand that the scene when she comes home again, and she says, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there, each being represents an aspect of self that you have not yet made peace with, that you have not yet allowed yourself to love completely and entirely. You are given signs at each and every moment. There is not a breath that you breathe that you are not being asked to love more, that which you deny. Does this make sense to each of you? Now, beloveds, we understand that there have been questions that you have held. Our beloved Sergey has questions. We would ask that you would come forth at this time, beloved ones.
Go on, Sergey.
Jeshua, could I ask in Russian?
Beloved, understand that Sahana Grace does not speak Russian, and we are channeling through her. Therefore, she will not, at the level of mind that we are using her connection, understand what it is that you are asking.
Okay. I will ask what my grandson asked one guru. What is the soul? He is 11 years old.
Mm. Beloveds, if you could imagine an ocean that is the ocean of love, that is the ocean of God, as a wave peaks, it individuates, it separates itself from the others, it becomes distinct. And this is indeed the aspect of soul. It is the, as we have mentioned before, the individuation of a snowflake, the individuation of a fingerprint, the individuation of a tone or a note that you are meant to sing in the symphony of the universe. Soul is the individuated aspect of God. It is a particle of God. And each one of you have chosen or been granted this portion to experience what it is to live as a Christed being. Beloveds, through your meditations, you can deeply go into what the experience is of the soul with breathing, with training. Understand the years that I had separated were to remind me of what had been learned through a multitude of lifetimes, but there was a choice on my part, a commitment to walk the pathway of a Christed being. The final culmination that prepared me for the work that was done in the 3 final years was done through the baptism, when the soul was put into alignment with the frequency of Christ. All of your souls, all of your individuation is being placed in a pathway so that you can continue to walk towards that of being a Christed being. One measure of this, beloveds, is this work of forgiveness, is this work of facing one's fears, facing one's chosen frailties, shall we say. In answer to your grandson, you can let him know that soul is his connection to God, his connection to higher self, his walkie-talkie to his own divinity. Soul is the representation of love. When one is in direct communication with one's soul, there is no question as to one's purpose. One's purpose is merely to recognize and to see that love both within as well as through the projection that is without. When you are in touch with your soul rather than the mind of the separation, you are in touch with the mind of connection. You are in touch with the mind of God, which is the word that we are using to represent the connection to divinity. Those of us that sit on the Christ Council, beloved, are very actively working to bring a connection of souls together that have this life force energy to turn the tides of what has been planned for the civilization. So we work diligently with each of you, both while you are awake and while you slumber, to bring about the changing of the tides, beloved ones. The willingness to look to the shadow, to bring the light, to bring the love, to bring the context of understanding that there are no mistakes that are made, beloved ones. There are opportunity after opportunity for you to come into alignment with truly your soul's purpose. And your soul's purpose is to bring love to all aspects of beingness. Give yourself 40 days. Give yourself 40 nights. Give yourself 4 minutes to allow yourself to course correct, shall we say, at each and every moment. Notice when the judgment comes in. Notice when you want to understand something and you say, I do not see how this can possibly fit. Beloveds, everything is as it was meant to be. Everything that you have chosen to experience is directly laying upon the pathway that you walk. The breadcrumbs that bring you back to the kingdom were scattered there by you. They have not been consumed by errant ducks or geese. They are yours. You put them there. Recollect them and allow yourselves to come back, indeed, to that place that you have never left. Beloveds, have you any other questions for us?
Yes. Hi, Yeshua.
Greetings.
I have 2 questions. One is that lately I feel like I was gifted through some interaction with a friend to see a lot of areas in my past where I was carrying some shame for my actions, and it started to dawn on me as I went through these different memories that I had seen these before. I was aware of these, but I was more in touch with the carrying of shame around them and the need for letting that go. And it started to occur to me a new idea that that all of these things that I experienced, no matter how disturbing they might have been at the time, were integral to my being where I am today, and that they can all be, as opposed to like, well, why are these things still here? I still see these same list of things I did and things I'm ashamed of, etc. And all of a sudden it occurred to me, I could almost, for lack of better words, that I could almost just forgive myself wholesale for just being whoever I was at the time, because it all led me to be who I am today. And I just wanted to kind of run that by you and see what your response to that would be.
Beloved, you are as you have always been. The judgments of self-shame are the mirrored aspect of self-love and self-forgiveness. So indeed, there is one blanket forgiveness that you can do, and all of these seeming sins and judgments are washed away. All it takes is but a moment to say, I remember, and I am willing to forgive. You are love. You are so loving, and you are so loved. If you allow the dawning of forgiveness, you will find that you will release these thoughts ever again. But understand, beloved, that when it was requested, who was willing to come and persecute themselves as long as you have, you raised your hand. And now, merely by this inquiry, you are saying, I have completed my mission, and you can release and relinquish it. Job well done, beloved one. We look
Thank
upon you and we see joy, and we are pleased, and we love every aspect of you. Look at yourself through our eyes and see what it is that we see. And you will see a God who knows only love. So we thank you. We congratulate you. You have graduated, and it is indeed time to come home.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen indeed, brother.
And so it is. I have a very mundane question to ask you. And it occurs to me that this, in some ways or another, I feel like every master who's come to earth must have had to look at this or confront this situation, and somehow come to the other side of it, which is, I live in a apartment building, which has had, I've lived here for many years, and for many years, it's had a long history of having many creepy, crawly little roaches, bugs, living in the walls, living between the apartments, and they come and enter the different apartments. And these are not something that I wish to cohabitate with. And I have tried, I've tried blessing them as I flush them down the sink, or otherwise dispose of them. I put out little poisons for them, unfortunately. And some part of me feels guilty, like, well, I'm supposed to love everything. But in truth, I feel like, yeah, but I don't love little bugs crawling in my food, and I don't want to see them scurrying around my kitchen. And it seems unsanitary at the very least, and distasteful at the worst. So somehow I feel like I've needed to make my peace with having to extinguish their little lives and bless them on their way into their next incarnation. So could you give me any any thoughts on this subject, please?
Beloved, they are actual aspects of your consciousness. They are aspects of you that you are looking to extinguish, that you have not made peace with, that you wish to flush away, that you wish to destroy. If you could take one and place it under glass and begin to have a communication with it and ask, what message does it have for you? How does it look upon you? You will begin to see a mirrored reflection of unconscious modalities of thinking. What is its purpose? What is its existence? Why was it created by God? And why do you feel the need to destroy it, to poison it, to extinguish it, to flush it? What are the parts of you that you are poisoning? What are the parts of you that you are wanting to have no longer exist? What are the parts of you that you wish to flush? Everything that comes into your existence, beloveds, are messages from spirit, including the creepy, crawly bugs. What part of you feels like a cockroach in the world? Can you allow yourself to recall and remember when you have lived this existence? For you are all things. And if you can love a cockroach as much as you love one of your cats, you will have found the pathway of love. It is about making peace with all things. And you have that capacity, beloved, far greater than you could imagine. And when you make your peace, they will no longer be presented to you by yourself, by spirit, to say, learn this lesson. For you will have lessons repeated and repeated and repeated until you have learned them. The energy will continue to cycle through your existence until you make your peace with it, until you become completely neutral, until you are willing to share your food with these creatures that are hungry and not feel the need to poison them, not feel the need to kill them, not feel the need to extinguish them, Understand, beloveds, that wherever you are feeling guilt, there is somewhere where you are off base, off target. And the guilt and the shame are directional, saying, this is not the direction of love. This is not the direction of peace. Course correct, beloved one. And you will find that the landscape will change.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Indeed. Beloveds, is there another question that you would like to bring?
Yes, hi Joshua. I have a question. How
Greetings,
are you,
beloved.
my love?
We are as we have always been.
Thank you for all of the things that you have been doing within and through me. I feel you in a deep way since I've been Jill in this incarnation than I've ever had in my life.
You are more Jill than you have ever been, beloved.
That sounds good. Feels good.
Feels good to
My
us.
Oh, good. Oh, it's lovely. My question is about dreams.
Yes.
When I am going to bed, what appears to be in a very peaceful, joyous state, and I've been gifted with these dreams, and I wake up in a very agitated state. And I think you've answered it already. You said to apply love, but is there a deeper message or somewhere we should go specifically when we wake up agitated from a dream?
Beloved Sahana Grace will use her dreamscape and even her daydreams to understand when there is an aspect of self that is coming to the surface for release, that she likes to call a holodyne, that have also been called entities, that have been called demons. Beloveds, these are merely aspects of self that are crying out to say, it is time for my release. Follow the path, follow the experience, and be led to their home, and understand that they are ready and able to be released back to the light. They are disenfranchised, shall we say, aspects of self that are bringing you into their television channel, so to speak, with the remote, saying, you forgot about us. Bring us back to the light. We too would like to go home. They are various and sundry aspects of self that are existing simultaneously that are ready for their release.
Yes, thank you very much.
Indeed, precious and beloved one. Beloved, we thank you for the assistance that you have brought to Sahana Grace. We thank you for the example that you are. We thank you for your remembering and for the work that you are doing. We love you.
I love you too. I'm blessed.
Indeed, as we are by you.
Have
Beloved and
time for
holy
one
one.
quick question.
Brother James, indeed, always.
I find myself on the edge of something that seems to be a deep fear of mine.
Yes.
And it's happening at the same time that so much goodness is going on, so much possibility is going on. But
Yes.
I feel there's a lot of music in me. I'm blessed by that you speak through me with channeling. I have so much love in my life. And there's a part of me that is just still playing small. And it's out of fear of what I call sniper fire,
Yes.
that I'm going to be, and I have a whole history of this, of being ridiculed or people angry with me or making me wrong or whatever.
Yes.
I've been sued by angry clients and I never seem to see it coming. And
Yes.
so the idea I notice I'm hesitant to even mention on Facebook that these messages are coming through me. I'm just afraid of, it's just like, it's ego, obviously. It's who I think I am and what other people would think of me and stuff like that. And I noticed that there's two forces happening at once. One is I cannot keep this inside me anymore. I just feel like it's just a waste, put my light under a bushel basket. And on the other sense, I kind of keep envisioning Armageddon of just, you know what I'm getting at. Is there some way
Annihilation.
that I can shift how I'm being about that? Because it just makes me play small. I just feel like, oh, just keep your head down, don't get it shot at. And it doesn't feel good because I feel so much value in everything that's flowing through me. I've never actually had it this good, but I feel like this is nothing. I could really, really expand, but then I just leave myself wide open to be punched in the gut. So that's where I'm at.
Beloved, understand that you have mental programming that has memories of 2 incarnations in which you were annihilated for the way that you spoke and the way that you used your voice. One that harkens you back to times in what would be known as the flourishing of Egypt, and another that in the soul group collective, where you used your voice in the programming of crystals that brought about the destruction of what was known as the civilization of Atlantis. So there has been a directive for you to not let your voice go above a certain dimension of notoriety, for there would be ultimate destruction in the use of your voice. And yet, at the same time, there is burgeoning within you this need for you to celebrate. Beloved, we very much look forward to co-creating the song of the Aramaic Lord's Prayer with you. This is why it is being placed upon your heart and why it is
It's already
resonating.
happening. It's already happening. I could feel it in the shower today.
Beloved, you were one of the first that I taught this to. It has the richness of the memory. So we recommend that you have a session with many of or any of the beings that are here that know how to bring you to these memories, so that the core of fear and anger and decisions that were made to keep all of this hidden under a bushel, shall we say, can be released, so that you do not continue to perpetuate that same pattern. It is a pattern that exists within the mind. It has not been forgiven. It has not been released. It has not been loved. And when it is, it will cease to exist. And this is the same for all of you, beloveds. Whatever these patterns are that bring and cause you pain, understand that they are being perpetuated by your own mind because of a place where it has not been resolved. So allow yourself to go into the chaos of your Akashic records, beloveds, and find these circumstances, release, and forgive them. And watch your entire landscape change.
Thank you.
Indeed. Blessings to you, beloved ones. We love you. Indeed, we will speak with you again.